I'm here to do business, all right? You know something I do business for, right? Is that right? Get it over with, all right?
Well, folks, we've just checked out Marked for Death, the flick that you all kept raving about in the comments and on my online streams.
I've seen it before, though it's been ages.
What can I say? I didn't notice a lot of differences from his later movies. Steven goes around different places, listens to compliments from girls.
I've never met anyone quite like you, Hatcher.
I don't think there's a lot of guys like you anywhere.
Well,
And in the end, he bulldozes his way to the victory, making funny faces and waving his hands.
what's that supposed to mean?
I've got a few words in defense. In Marked for Death, Steven Seagal doesn't look like a waddling blob. He's up and moving most of the time. And what about all of those scenes where he's running without a stunt double?
So the movie starts with the aikido master and his pals having a good old game of tag. But Seagal isn't exactly a top-notch runner, so he keeps bumping into cars and pushing innocent pedestrians in different directions.
Actually, it is called aikido, the art of pushing people around.
It goes on until he teleports in front of Danny Trejo and pulls off some incredible aikido. It's time to squeeze out some important information from the guy.
Did you talk to anybody? Look at me. Talk to anybody, huh? Did you see anybody? Did you talk to anybody, huh?
Mandy,
Huh?
you see or talk to somebody,
Huh?
Look at me, talk to me, see me,
Huh?
See or talk to anybody,
Talk to anybody?
Mandy,
Hey.
you see or talk to somebody,
Hey.
Look at me, talk to me, see me,
Huh?
See or talk to anybody.
Did you talk to anybody?
Trejo is also lost in the conversation, but it would be better for him not to talk to anybody and not see anybody. What do Aikido Master would do to him if he talks with his friends like this?
Chico, I'm disappointed in you. How could you do that? Since when did anybody ever accuse me of being sane?
I always thought Steven Seagal was like a sensei.
Insane sensei.
How could you do that to me? I am disappointed in you. Never ever no one dare call me insane sensei.
We can't go into that meeting. If anyone was ever made, we were made.
We're going. All right? Come on, get easy. Come on.
2 hours later.
After his epic fail, the Aikido Master rage quits from the police
My teammates don't want to go with the plan I have. No, I'm one of the most hated people on the internet.
and heads to the church to flex his accomplishments to the Holy Father.
Father, I just killed a woman. I've lied, I've slept with informants, taken drugs, I've falsified evidence. And then I realized something. I knew that the only justice that I could get would be that I made for myself.
Do you have a family?
Yes, Father.
There were actually two of them. At that time, Steven Seagal was juggling two wives at once. And in this universe, the Grand Master considers his sister and his nephew as his family, even though he hasn't seen them in like a decade.
I am your uncle. And you've grown up to be a big girl.
You're not my uncle.
Nope.
More than that, he retires into his old childhood room. After digging around in all the junk, Steven heads to a rugby field to give a ball a good squish and to scope out some girls. But since he put on a cotton blanket instead of his stylish leopard jacket, the girls don't really pay attention to him.
So poor Big Papa is left with hugging just an old friend.
Dylan! You son of a bitch!
It's me.
Insane Sensei finally throws on a cool jacket to impress the girls at the bar. But all eyes are on guys in more basic suits but with guns. And in the middle of this crazy fun, while Max is getting all cozy with the babes, Steven is scratching his butt in confusion.
But without the Aikido Master, the goons would have gotten away.
So what else is...
Who came up with the brilliant idea to stretch these ribbons all over the place? Just a little bit more and Steven would have had to duck his head.
Oh, he thinks he's retired.
He still looks functional to me.
Oh, really? Well, what do you have to say now, madam? How functional does this graceful gallop seem to you?
Maybe I've seen enough. Listen, man, I don't think the world wants to change anyway.
Back at home, the nephew of the insane sensei catches random bullet from a random passing car. Steven goes to the hospital with his useless communication skills, trying to convince the doctor that his nephew isn't just a regular 12-year-old girl.
This girl like she's the president of the United States. President of the United States, okay?
Now, all that has left is pushing real hard, trying to force out a tear when he sees a kid he barely knows. It is aikido time! In the morning, when the aikido master gets back home, he sees this super detailed dreamcatcher drawn on the doormat. This drawing is seriously getting under his skin, so without wasting a moment, he waits till the evening and heads over to that girl, Leslie, he briefly saw at the crime scene, and tries to impress her by passing off someone else's art as his own. But for some reason she's not buying that he drew the dreamcatcher, and in her turn tries to convince him in some BS.
Your family has been marked for death.
So you wanna tell me that tough Jamaican mafia is spending their time giving victims custom doormat designs?
Plus they set up the candlelit dinners for their victims and torture them with tickling.
And this guy, Screwface, totally didn't draw that dreamcatcher. Just look at these messy doodles.
Next morning, Steven is sitting in his car.
They are just chilling waiting for those Jamaican wizards to show up.
What's happening, brother?
Irie.
And he fucks up the talks again. Just look at this, the dude never learns. Nobody can land a hit up close, so they start zooming around city in insane speeds, breaking laws of traffic rules and breaking laws of physics.
Hey, is it just me or did they forget to give the customers waypoints in this store? They are all running around like headless chickens.
And that guy totally glitched into the table.
Check her out, she somehow managed to end up in the arms of that thug.
Well, she is lucky there is a hero nearby.
Go ahead, kill her. I don't know her. I don't care about her. You want to kill her? Kill her. I don't mind if you kill her, because I don't know her.
He was one of the fastest martial artists, delivering a punch at 110 miles per hour.
Time for the true aikido.
It is when the bad guys are running towards Seagal with their arms outstretched like helpless zombies. And he's like, wave your troubles away. When he is short on hands power, Seagal goes all furniture aikido. And instead of heading to jail after today's adventures, our hero goes back to Leslie for some more valuable advices.
Well, and I was hoping that you'd maybe give me some of your advice.
You'd have to kill him, otherwise they'll never stop until you and your family are dead.
Oh, good thing he decided to pay her a visit. But again a little late.
The Jamaicans hired a building crew with a heavy machinery to repair a road just to mess with Steven's drive.
Those bastards.
On the other side of the road, a bulldozer will be waiting for him.
No.
And the truck.
The ultimate killing plan.
Not without some flaws, of course.
Oh, come on, it's a guarantee one-way ticket to the afterlife. What could possibly go wrong? The gangsters aren't exactly going for the most optimal ways to get rid of their foes. Steven understands the importance of using traditional methods.
He walks over the nearest weapon merchant and is quite surprised that the dude isn't passed out drunk at this hour.
You still sober?
They team up with this guy, Charlie, and you might wonder, who the heck is this Charlie and why the heck Seagal needs him?
The way I look at it, we need each other.
He knows how to make bullets. The weapon merchant was wasted and forgot to pack rifles with the bullets.
So after having some fun with the dead meat, pals pack guns in some home gadgets to take them to a plane to Jamaica. Because Jamaican people still haven't witnessed Seagal's mind-blowing dancing moves. One of the girls was so blown away by his dancing that she immediately rushed over and started sharing important and confidential information about Screwface.
Screwface have 2 heads and 4 eyes.
Turns out Screwface is also kicking it in Jamaica too. Alrighty then, time for the happy 3 friends to gear up and hit the road for some crazy adventures. And, you know, it seems that they treated themselves with those legendary Jamaican cigars. Because it seems that Seagal has forgotten how to use his mouth for talking and now uses fingers for that. Alright, screwed face, 3 eyes.
4! Steven, the girl said 4 eyes and 2 heads!
Now he's completely mixed everything up.
Dude, you're sitting next to each other, just have a normal chat.
And while the Dark Ninja tries to vanish into the white walls, everyone, guests, guards, turn away, just like, nah, can't watch this cringe.
They've got a genius scheme. The dudes go all bang bang and boom boom to black out the power in the house, so the aikido master can show off his night vision toy. In addition, he's got a chance to take a few steps completely invisible in the darkness. Yeah, the canals were totally expected. Those wizards are like totally obsessed with them. This right here is totally on Seagal's goof up list.
Don't worry, man. Anyway, these goons can't manage to tie him down. People are once again running towards Seagal like, "Hey buddy!" Screwface is just standing there totally mind blown by how dumb his own crew is. And then he runs like a hey buddy himself with katana.
Screwface also stocked up from the drunk dealer, so he also ended up without bullets for the guns.
The prince returned to America and starts to preaching to the Jamaica gangsters that drugs are bad, okay?
So first of all, smoking's bad, you shouldn't smoke, and alcohol is bad, you shouldn't drink alcohol, and as for drugs, well, drugs are bad, you shouldn't do drugs.
And just to show how bad drugs are, Charlie pulls out the entire Screwface evidence,
which they managed to bring from Jamaica on the plane. Yo! Well, he's got a head in his hands, he has a head on his shoulders.
Alex, did you count how many eyes there were?
How much did the girl from the club say?
Man, Steven completely confused me with his gestures.
Who cares? Charlie's hurt and he needs to be rushed to the hospital. But Steven has more important things to do. There still are people to push around. And here we go again. Instead of shooting him with pistols and rifles, the thugs go for hugs. Well, turns out we can't just skip the katana.
Is it just me, or does the sword fight looks a little bit boring?
And to be honest, the pushing part isn't doing it for me either. Oh, yeah, it's like a totally rubber mask, but I won't show it in my video. Let's put it this way. Screwface lost 2 out of his 4 eyes.
And they lived happily ever after.
Not all of them though.
By the way, what had happened to the nephew?
Nephew?
What was her name?
I remember Leslie with the wisdom advices.
Alright, let's just say she became the president of the United States.
Fair enough.